Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
He's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old. And you know what I mean? I mean, that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys. But he's fighting Tyson here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money.
A bunch.
Andrew Tate has revealed unexpected details about his fight contract with YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul. The two have been trading insults online for months, and while fans anticipated a showdown, no one expected the situation to escalate this dramatically.
Fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
You might fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm
let's
about
do
the
it.
action. Like,
Thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch?
What makes this fight particularly intriguing is that, unlike the typical staged hike we've seen before, this one comes with genuine tension, massive stakes, and some questionable clauses that might leave you wondering if it's a disaster in the making.
All he fights are old guys and whatever, but listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake Logan, you Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. Bro, I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peace.
G and former kickboxer has been at odds with Jake Paul for what seems like an eternity. Jake, determined to prove he's more than just hype and money in the boxing ring, couldn't have chosen a better opponent than Tate, who never misses a chance to boast about being unbeatable. The fight is set to take place in Romania, but let's be real, it's not about the venue. It's about the animosity. These two genuinely can't stand each other, and that's going to set the stage for an explosive showdown.
me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are, so we could talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
No, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Now, let's talk about the real star of the show, the contract. Andrew Tate has gone all in on transparency by revealing the fight's terms, and let me tell you, it's a roller coaster. The stakes are sky high, the penalties are hilariously over the top, and the clauses feel like a mashup of WWE theatrics and Shark Tank negotiations. This is where things get interesting. First, let's address the obvious. This fight is all about the money. Big money. Tate and Paul aren't stepping into the ring just for bragging rights. They've locked in jaw-dropping contracts that would leave even seasoned negotiators stunned. The winner is set to pocket a cool $10 million. Sounds straightforward, right? Not quite. Here's the twist. If the fight goes to the judges' scorecards instead of ending in a knockout, the winner's payout is slashed in half to a measly $5 million. That's right, half the prize for playing it safe. With stakes like that, you can bet neither fighter will let this one drag out. They'll be swinging for the fences, aiming for that full $10 million payday, because $5 million just doesn't hit the same. Every jab, uppercut, and feint will count as if their bank accounts depend on it. Because they do. If you're planning to bet on this match, know that both Tate and Paul will be fighting like their lives depend on it. But the real kicker? The clause that's bound to keep them both up at night. Random drug testing. This fight isn't just about skill and strategy anymore. Both fighters will be subject to no-notice, random drug tests. So, if either one has been thinking of using something shady to gain an edge, they're in for a rude awakening. This fight is shaping up to be an all-out war, both in and out of the ring. Buckle up, because it's going to be one wild ride.
My brother doesn't fuck you up. I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us.
I
think it's too big of a.
The penalties in this fight are no joke. If either fighter fails a drug test, they're not just out of the fight. They're hit with a massive financial penalty. For Andrew Tate, who spent years building his top G persona, or Jake Paul, who's working hard to maintain his undefeated streak, a failed test would be nothing short of catastrophic. The fallout wouldn't just hurt their bank accounts. It could deal a crushing blow to their reputations, potentially derailing their careers entirely. Both know they have to stay clean, because the consequences of slipping up go far beyond losing the match. It's no surprise Tate insisted on this clause. He's a strategist through and through, and ensuring there's no room for cheating aligns perfectly with his long-game mindset. As for Jake Paul, let's just say his track record for playing by the rules doesn't inspire much confidence. For both fighters, this clause changes the game entirely. But wait, there's another twist. The contract includes a stipulation that guarantees no rematch. If Jake Paul knocks out Andrew Tate, or Tate manages to submit Jake, it's game over. No next year rematch, no second chances to even the score. This is a one-and-done fight where the winner takes all the glory. This contract is packed with so much drama, tension, and chaos that it puts even the wildest soap operas to shame. From severe penalties to no second chance clauses, it's clear that this showdown is designed to be a high-stakes spectacle from start to finish.
Sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. 3 million.
This no rematch clause adds an entirely new layer of intensity. Think about it. Losing means there's no safety net, no, I was off my game excuses, and no opportunity to bounce back and prove they're better than the performance they put on. It's a one-shot deal, and the pressure is monumental. For Jake Paul, the stakes couldn't be higher. He spent years shaking off the just a YouTuber label, and a lost year would shatter his undefeated record with no shot at redemption. The critics would have a field day, cementing every doubt about his boxing credentials. On the flip side, imagine Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top guy, getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer. The internet would explode, and his unshakable confidence would take a hit that even his most loyal fans might struggle to defend. This is more than a fight. It's a career-defining moment for both men. The winner walks away with the glory, while the loser is left to face the fallout with no second chances. That's pressure at its absolute peak.
Desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck.
Let's dive into another juicy detail of the contract, the weight clause. Both fighters are required to make weight for the fight, and failing to do so comes with a hefty penalty. 30% of their paycheck gone. This isn't your typical pre-fight drama. This is serious money on the line. Missing weight isn't just a logistical hiccup. It's a major blow to a fighter's image and brand. For these two, who thrive on public perception, showing up unprepared would be nothing short of disastrous. In the world of boxing, failing to make weight signals a lack of readiness, raising questions about whether you're fit to step into the ring and compete at the highest level. For Tate, who prides himself on discipline and self-mastery, missing weight would undermine everything he stands for. And for Jake Paul, who spent years proving he's more than just a social media star, it would cast doubt on his commitment as a legitimate boxer. This clause isn't just about cutting a paycheck. It's about maintaining credibility. For both Tate and Paul, making weight is as much about protecting their reputations as it is about stepping into the ring prepared to win.
Focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
Let's not overlook one of the wildest parts of the contract, the pay-per-view clause. Both fighters are set to receive 50% of the PPV sales. That's right. Every dollar fans shell out to watch this fight goes straight into their pockets. And with the massive followings Jake Paul and Andrew Tate have, especially on social media, this could result in an astronomical payday. We're not just talking about a typical boxing match here. This is shaping up to be the asterisk battle of egos asterisk, the fight everyone's buzzing about. The hype and drama surrounding these two make it a must-watch, and that's bound to translate into record-breaking PPV numbers. With so much money on the table, you can expect both fighters to go all out, not just in the ring but in the lead-up too. They'll use every platform they have to keep the tension high and the stakes even higher. From trash talk to promotional stunts, they'll make sure fans are glued to the build-up. If you're a betting person, don't just focus on who wins the fight. Consider how much cash will pour in from fans eager to see this showdown. With their combined star power and the spectacle they're creating, this fight could set a new standard for PPE sales.
You want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dick.
So, what does it all mean? If you thought celebrity boxing was just a gimmick, think again. This fight is shaping up to be one of the most intense, drama-packed matchups of the year. The contract alone is enough to keep fans buzzing, with $10 million stakes, no rematch clauses, random drug testing, and strict weight penalties. Jake Paul and Andrew Tate aren't just fighting for glory, they're fighting for their careers. This has gone way beyond a simple boxing match. It's a spectacle, a battle of egos, and a money-making juggernaut rolled into one. The question is, who's coming out on top? Will Jake Paul defend his undefeated record and prove he's the real deal? Will Andrew Tate back up his claims of being unbeatable? Or will one catastrophic mistake cost one of them everything? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. This fight is destined to make history. Is it all just clever marketing hype, or is this truly going to be a clash for the ages? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the debate started. And if you're as excited as we are for this chaotic showdown, hit that like button and stay tuned. This is going to be one wild ride.